If you want to make your relationship alive and deep, there is a secret ingredient. Communication is a well-known, obvious, crucial, and extremely important part of making any relationship better. But this secret ingredient is not all well thought of. Are you ready? This secret ingredient is compassion. Now, you may be wondering, is it really that secret? Well, it's kind of obvious that if you have compassion for the other person, it will work. But in relationships, what does it mean? And that's what I mean by it's not so well thought of. I'm going to give you 3 tips to initiate you into using compassion in the relationship context, and then you can take it forward after that. Tip number 1 is this. In the relationship, you will feel anger or frustration because of something that your partner is doing. That anger may or may not be expressed, but it will be there. Sometimes you may feel extreme amount of sadness. Sometimes you may just feel a lot of anxiety, but along with it, there'll be some kind of anger. Sometimes what you feel is blame coming to you from your partner for the things that the partner claims you may be doing. And you may not agree with it. You may have a lot of anxiety and restlessness about that. These are the 2 situations which are very common in a relationship. And in both these situations, compassion helps. Compassion also must include self-compassion. What is compassion? When you see pain and suffering in someone else, if you experience some love arising in you, if you have deep understanding somewhere in the other person's suffering, and you also have a wish that the suffering may be reduced, then that means you are experiencing compassion. Now you turn it towards yourself. You know you are suffering, you are in pain, and you have some kind of love and affection arising in you for yourself. Some deep understanding, yes, this is really difficult for me. If you have that feeling, and if you also have this wish that somehow let me reduce this pain, or maybe this pain be reduced, if you have that feeling, then that's self-compassion. So just remember, anger, frustration, extreme anxiety, restlessness, what's the antidote to that? Compassion and self-compassion, the way I described it to you right now. So tip number 2 is, how do you actually use compassion and self-compassion when there is a problem you are experiencing with your partner? Let's take an example. Let's say you are experiencing anger because your partner blames you for something that you don't think you have done. In fact, you have things against your partner. You are experiencing anger. I advise you to watch your anger. First, just put yourself away from the situation and just watch your anger, what thoughts are coming to you, what feelings are coming to you, and what images are coming to you. Then practice self-compassion. What that means is, look inside yourself, close your eyes, look in your tummy. Whatever you're experiencing, there is pain and suffering. Look in that and say to yourself, I see you. I get what you're feeling. I understand why you're feeling the way you are. The deep understanding of your own pain and suffering, and to totally accept it. That will put you in a slightly relaxed mode. That will also allow you the courage to see maybe something you are not doing that right, maybe some way some way in which you are contributing to this relationship problem. So self-compassion. And then compassion. When you look at your own anger and discomfort for a long enough time, and you think about your own pain and suffering, and then you think about your partner, you may get some deep understanding of your partner is also going through some pain and suffering. He may not know exactly the right way to express it, but there are ways in which he's also experiencing pain and suffering. You can see the partner in a different light, in a different perspective. For example, let's say that your partner is saying, you are so selfish, you always just think about you, you don't think about me. Maybe that's what he's saying to you. And you are feeling, how can he say that? I'm not selfish. He only blames it on me, but he doesn't see what he is doing. Let's say that's the drama that's going on in your mind. If you practice self-compassion and really see your own suffering, and you feel you accept that suffering, and then maybe you understand that your partner is also going through some pain and suffering, maybe you can see that, yeah, maybe there are times when I'm selfish, but there are a lot of other times when I'm generous and giving. I have both in me. Then when you go back and talk to your partner about this, your view is going to be completely different. You can admit, yeah, I know I'm selfish, but I'm also giving a lot of times. And I see that you are not comfortable when you think I'm being selfish. I can see that. But it really bugs me when you blame everything on me. I feel not very valued. I feel not very respected. When you acknowledge it like this, the partner also will feel relaxed, because whatever he's saying, you're acknowledging it. But you're not condoning everything he's doing. You're also communicating your own needs. Your need is that you want to be respected and valued. And at the same time, you're acknowledging or seeing your partner has the same need to be valued and to be respected. So compassion and self-compassion allows you to admit and also communicate your own needs, your own unmet needs. This is a beginning point. And then onwards can start a process of going back and forth with this kind of communication and seeing each other. Tip number 3. What I just told you in tip number 2, maybe it makes sense to you intellectually, but to actually internalize it and to make it into a habit requires some practice. One way to do it is to take some kind of compassion training that generally helps so much in knowing exactly what self-compassion and compassion means. There are different trainings, such as there is mindfulness training, which typically includes some amount of compassion training. There is a compassion cultivation training. There is mindful self-compassion training. There is also couples compassion training. These are different kinds of trainings. I urge you to go on my website, swatidesai.com, and subscribe to my newsletter. When I'm offering either mindful self-compassion or mindfulness or couples compassion training, you will get that notice and you may want to join it. If you want something right away, you can go online and look for one of these trainings. You can also read books. You can read Thich Nhat Hanh's book. He has wonderful books on compassion. And these kinds of things will give you an idea of how to practice. Maybe you can practice compassion meditations, or you can do certain activities. By the way, all this is very much supported by research. And I'm going to give you a couple of references in the information below. Subscribe to my channel to meditate right here, and you will get more content like this.